Hello everybody and welcome to the Creatrix YouTube channel. I welcome you all in a fresh session of analog electronics. And my dear friends, when I say we are going to learn analog electronics from the very basic, I mean it. We will be learning from the very basic level to the very advanced level along with a lots and lots of questions. So before we do that, let me first introduce myself for my friend who is meeting me for the first time. My dear friends, my name is Ankit Goyal. I got AIR1 twice in GATE in 2014 and 2018. I was awarded the President of India Gold Medal in the year 2013 when I graduated from IIT Indore. Till date, I have trained more than 1 lakh students in the online and the offline classes and presently working as a director at an academy for GATE department. But my dear friends, the reason behind this series is because of the huge demand of analog electronics and the belief that whenever you ask for anything, we are there to deliver. Yes, my dear friends, we are here for you. We are here delivering for you. And when we say it, we'll support you to the very fullest level. And this series will help you crack GATE with the top rank. It will enable EC student to get 12 out of 12 and 5 out of 5 for electrical students. So my dear friends, if you want to learn with us live, then you can join an academy using the code AnkitESE to get an immediate 10% discount. And not only, my dear friend, 10% discount, it also brings you under my guidance so that I can help you do something that I have done. I can at least take you near to this goal. Okay. So if you also dream the same thing, then join me in this journey on an academy subscription using the code AnkitESE. Now, my dear friend, if you like the content that I deliver, you can watch more of my free videos on this URL, tinyurl.com/AnkitESE. Here you will find all my videos arranged subject-wise, chapter-wise, and you will find great content for free. And you are definitely going to love it. You are definitely going to enjoy. It not only includes conceptual videos, but it also includes problem-solving sessions. So just visit this once and you will fall in love with this URL. Don't forget it. It is a lifeline for you. And if you love the content that we are delivering on YouTube, we have created the first ever video book for you guys, where you will find all the videos along with all the notes that we provide arranged subject wise, chapter wise. So now, my dear friends, your dreams are no longer dreams. They are becoming a reality because you are getting a top quality course, well arranged, well structured, and that too for free. So what can be better than that? What can be better than that? Nothing, my dear friends. So we have empowered the dreams of those who earlier used to think that only the person with a huge amount of money can crack GATE with a top rank. No, my dear friends, that is not the case. Even you can do. Even you can do it. But yes, just you need to believe in yourself and visit this link. But remember, this is a case sensitive link, so write this in uppercase. Other than that, if you join plus subscription, you get all the top educators like me teaching you live in daily lectures, along with providing you daily practice paper, weekly quiz, test series, previous year question, practice question, crash course, rank improvement batch, and most importantly, clearing your each and every doubt. So if you join plus subscription, it is an entire world inside it. So you don't have to look outside. Once you enter plus, every need of yours will be taken care of, and we will make your journey as smooth as possible towards that destination of getting under 100, under 10 rank. Believe me, my friend, you leave that strategy part to us. You leave the content part to us. You just work hard and we will make sure that you obtain the top rank in GATE and ESE. And Iconic is a big brother of Plus. Yes, this is a little brother. So Iconic gives you everything that a Plus subscription gives, along with much more. The major part of Iconic is this personal coach, a person dedicated to you on a daily basis to get you the top rank, guiding you, getting your schedule design, making your strategy. Everything that you need to get the top rank is being done by this personal coach. He'll also create a study planner for you, which you can follow blindly and reach your destination with utmost ease. They will be analyzing your test result and tell you where you are lacking, how you can improve. So that way, my dear friend, everybody else will get a standard analysis, but you will get an analysis just tailor-made for you. Along with it, we have included study material additionally, theory and question bank, and soon we'll be introducing interview guidance into this. So this will become a complete package for a student who wants to take that journey from being an average student to sitting into a PSU or a MTech seat. So for them, this journey will be just like driving a Lamborghini to work. So that sort of a experience, that sort of a royal experience we are going to give you. So let's move on to the lecture, and if you want to join Unacademy, just make sure you use the code AnkitESE to get my guidance as well as to get 10% over and above whatever Unacademy offers you. So now let's move on to the lecture, dear friends, and let's see what we have in store for you.
Hi guys, now we have seen one more application of diode circuit, that is rectifier. In rectifier, I told you rectifiers are basically used to convert AC waveform into pulsating DC. So the problem with pulsating DC, suppose I take an example of full wave rectifier. The problem with pulsating DC is that the voltage waveform is fluctuating. It is fluctuating between maximum value and zero value. If it is fluctuating so much, then it is not a perfect DC. So that is why we are coming to the next topic, that is filter. Filters are used to basically reduce the fluctuation in the output voltage of rectifier. So these filters are connected. These are connected at rectifier output. What is the function of these filters? To reduce ripple in the rectifier output. We need to reduce the ripple in the rectifier output. Now filters can be made using inductor and capacitor. Why? Because inductor does not allow sudden change in current. We know that much. Okay. Or you can say inductor will oppose the change in current. Similarly, capacitor does not allow sudden change in voltage. Okay. So there are different type of filters that we study. What are the different type of filters that we study? Capacitive filter, inductive filter, LC filter, CLC filter, and last CRC filter. Out of this, if I talk about gate course, only C filter is included in the gate course, which we will cover in this lecture, and we'll also see some problems based on combination of rectifiers and the filters. So without wasting any more time, let us start with the C filter. So see, this is the circuit. This is a circuit of a half wave rectifier. If you remove or if you ignore this capacitance, then this is simply a half wave rectifier. So what I have done is I have connected a capacitor in the circuit of a half wave rectifier. Otherwise, if you don't see this resistance, you might think that this is the circuit of a clamper. Okay. So this is basically combination of a half wave rectifier and a capacitive filter, and you might also seem to think that it is a circuit of a clamper. So we have to think, how does this circuit work? Suppose first of all there is no load. No load means that R is tending to infinity. That means output is open circuited. If output is open circuited, then what happens? I am applying a sinusoidal supply. If I am applying a sinusoidal supply, the supply will be like this. Okay. Is it fine? Now what happens during positive cycle? During positive cycle, the diode will turn on. If diode turns on, the capacitor will start to charge. Up to where the capacitor will charge? Vm. Okay. That is what we saw in clamper, that when diode and capacitor are connected to a AC source, capacitor charges up to Vm. And when I am talking about output voltage, indirectly I mean to say is capacitor voltage, because output voltage is equal to capacitor voltage. Now once capacitor becomes fully charged up to Vm, in this region diode was on, the diode will turn off and capacitor will retain its voltage like this. Okay, so this voltage will remain constant because if capacitor is charged to Vm, it cannot discharge, because for discharging current should flow like this, but this current cannot flow. Diode does not allow current from cathode to anode, or you can say diode does not allow reverse current, and hence the capacitor will not be able to discharge. But practically like in clamper, I told you about practical clamper, what happens? Capacitor usually discharges through the load resistance. Okay, because after fully charging, a RC circuit is formed due to which capacitor discharges. But this condition I am talking about no load, which means there is no resistance. And if there is no resistance, the capacitor cannot discharge. Its voltage will remain constant at Vm. Is my point clear? Now when we talk about loaded condition, in the first condition it was working as clamper. At loaded condition, what will happen? Capacitor charges through diode. Through diode capacitor will charge, and capacitor discharges through resistor. Okay, so the charging condition will remain same, but the discharging condition will be now different, and capacitor will discharge through the load. So if I now talk about the output waveform, what will happen? First I will draw sinusoidal supply as a reference. Like this. Now, initially diode will turn on and capacitor will start to charge. So capacitor charges up to Vm. Okay. Earlier I told you it will retain its voltage constant at Vm. But now due to resistance, capacitor will discharge and its voltage will reduce. Now see, here we have supply voltage Vs, then diode, and here we have capacitor voltage Vc. So what we will say is, when Vs becomes greater than Vc, diode turns on. See, at this point, this black curve represents Vc, this pink curve represents Vs. So here capacitor or the supply voltage overtakes the capacitor voltage, diode turns on and capacitor again starts charging. Once it again charges to maximum voltage, it will start to discharge. So like this, there will be the output waveform, and this time till it discharges, we call this time as T1, and the charging time is called as T2. And this is the total time period T, because if you see, it is a cycle of 2 pi. We have reached the same point that we started from, that is the time period T. So as you can see, discharging period is much greater than the charging period. T1 is much greater than T2, and the total time period is sum of these two, that is T1 plus T2. Okay. So now, what I will do is, I will consider the waveform that I have drawn in the previous slide. Okay. So to draw that waveform, first I am drawing reference sinusoidal waveform. Okay. So the capacitor will charge up to Vm, then it will discharge, then it will again charge up to Vm, then it will again discharge. Now this time was T1, and this time is t2. Suppose this is the instant that I am assuming t equal to 0 at this instant. So what I will say, at t equal to 0, capacitor voltage is Vm. After this, the diode turns off, and when diode turns off, what happens? Capacitor discharges through resistor. Now in that case, if capacitor is discharging, what is the steady state voltage of capacitor? 0. So if I want to write down VCT, it is VC infinity plus VC0 minus VC infinity e to the power minus t by tau. So you will say VCT is Vm e to the power minus t by tau. Now you can open this exponential in terms of its Taylor series, 1 minus t by tau plus t square by 2 factorial tau square minus t cube by 3 factorial tau cube and so on. Okay. Now see, if you want this discharging to be small, I want the output voltage to be constant. If I want the output voltage to be constant, the discharging should be as low as possible. Okay. The discharging should be very small. If the discharging should be low, I can say that tau must be high. If tau is high, we can ignore the higher order terms and we can say VCT is approximately Vm 1 minus t by tau. That is linear approximation. So from exponential I have come to linear approximation, and how I have come to linear approximation? By assuming that the time constant is very high, due to which capacitor discharges by small amount. Now capacitor discharges throughout the interval t1. So this is the minimum voltage, you can say. So how to find V0 minimum? It is capacitor voltage at t1, which is Vm 1 minus t1 by tau. So that is the capacitor voltage, minimum capacitor voltage. What about the maximum output voltage? It is Vm. So if you want to find out peak to peak ripple means the difference between input and the output voltage. It is V0 maximum, difference between maximum and minimum voltage. V0 maximum minus V0 minimum. It will come out to be Vm into T1 by tau. Okay. So we have got peak to peak ripple Vm T1 by tau. Okay. So tau will be equal to, for a RC circuit, tau will be equal to RC. So we'll say Vm T1 by RC. Now as I told you that T1 is much greater than T2, which means the total time T, which is T1 plus T2, is approximately equal to T1. So we can say peak to peak ripple is Vm into T by RC, and time period is 1 by frequency, so you can say Vm by FRC. Okay. Now if you see, how does the capacitor voltage vary? Capacitor voltage or the output voltage, it is like this. Under steady state, under steady state the voltage is like this. Okay, like this the voltage will be there. How I have drawn this? See, in the previous case also the voltage was like this, decreasing, increasing, decreasing, increasing. So instead of this sinusoidal, I am assuming it to be a straight line. So that is what I have done in this waveform, increment and decrement both in the straight line. Then if I talk about the average value will pass midway. Okay, the average value is midpoint of Vmin and Vmax. Always remember, for a straight line graph, the average value lies midway between the minimum and the maximum value. Minimum value is Vm 1 minus t by tau, maximum is Vm. So this will be approximately Vm because t is much less than tau. That is what we are assuming. Now once you know the average value, this value is your peak to peak ripple. Okay, this is Vp to P. Now if you want to find out the maximum value, how to find V0 maximum? You will say it is V0 average plus V peak to peak upon 2. So what I mean to say is, if this is the total value of Vp to P, half lies above the average and half lies below the average. So Vm plus Vm by 2 FRC. What about V0 minimum? V0 average minus V peak to peak by 2. Vm minus Vm by 2 FRC. Okay. So that will be the minimum voltage. Now if you subtract the average value, from V0, then only ripple will remain. So graph will be like this. Okay, this is V0 minus V0 average. Earlier the curve was centered about V0 average. Now we have subtracted V0 average, so curve becomes centered about 0. Okay, if I say the center of curve is at 5, now subtract 5 from the curve, you will see that center now becomes 0. This is a triangle waveform. For triangle waveform, we know that RMS value of triangle wave is maximum value by root 3. What is the maximum value? This is actually Vp to P. So what is this? It is Vp to P by 2. So Vp to P by 2 root 3. Once I know this, I can write down the ripple RMS. So it will be Vm by 2 root 3 FRC. So this is the harmonic RMS or the ripple RMS. If this is the ripple RMS, or you can say it is the harmonic content, because except average, everything is harmonic. What about V0 average? It was approximately equal to Vm. Now in rectifiers, I have told you that voltage ripple factor is nothing but it is the ratio of harmonic RMS to the DC voltage or the average. So if you take the ratio of these two quantities, what you will get? 1 by 2 root 3 FRC. Okay. So that means if we talk about ripple factor, let us call it as gamma. Gamma is inversely proportional to R. So it is suitable for high resistance. Okay. It is suitable for high resistance. That means if the resistance is high, then you can make use of the capacitive filter, because for high resistance the time constant is high, and if time constant is high, capacitor does not discharge by a large amount and we can get an almost constant voltage. But if time constant is not high, the fluctuation in voltage will be very high. Now let us see some problems based on rectifier and filter. It says the figure shows a 475 microfarad filter capacitor. The load draws a constant current of 1 ampere from the rectifier. The figure shows the input voltage Vi and output voltage Vc and peak to peak ripple U on Vc. The input Vi is a triangle wave with amplitude 10 volt and period 1 millisecond. we need to find the ripple. Okay, see, I will say when diode is on, capacitor charges to how much voltage? 10 volt. Now, when diode becomes off, capacitor discharges. How capacitor discharges? It discharges through the current source. Okay, like this current is flowing, so it will discharge through this current source. As you can see, if current is leaving the positive terminal, this diode is now off. The current is leaving the positive terminal, so capacitor will discharge through the current source. Now when current is leaving the positive terminal, what you will say? C dVc by dt is minus I naught. If current enters the positive terminal, plus I naught. If it leaves the positive terminal, minus I naught. Or you can say dVc is minus I naught by C dt. Okay, we are talking about this discharging interval T1. So if you integrate both the sides at t equal to 0, suppose this is t equal to 0, this point, the voltage is maximum 10 volt. At t equal to T1, voltage is minimum Vmin. Okay, so what I will say, Vmin, if I integrate, minus 10 equal to minus T1 by C. Okay, or you can say 10 minus Vmin equal to T1 by C. Now the ripple is the difference between maximum and minimum voltage. Minimum voltage is Vmin, maximum is 10. So the left hand side can be written as U equal to T1 by C. Now as we can see, this charging time is much smaller than the discharging time. So what I can say is T1 plus T2, which is equal to total time period. Total time period is almost equal to T1. So U equal to T by C. Or you can say 1 by FC. I am writing on the left hand side, since U is coming out to be 1 by FC, what is the frequency? The time period is given as 1 millisecond. So time period is 1 millisecond by C, 475 microfarad. That is 1000 by 475 volt. How much will this come out to be? 2.105 volt. So that will be the ripple in the output voltage. So here I have used basic network analysis, that when capacitor discharges by a current source, then C dV by dt is minus I naught. Okay, but also remember, charging time is much smaller than discharging. So I have let that total time period equal to the discharging period. Next problem. An AC voltage source V equal to 10 sin t is applied to the following network. Assuming R1 equal to 3 kilo ohm, R2 equal to 6, R3 equal to 9, and the diode is ideal. We need to find IRMS. In this question, we need to find IRMS. If you see, it is a large network of resistances, but there is only one diode. When one diode is connected in series with the supply, it is acting as a half wave rectifier. So instead of this entire combination, I will use a single resistance. How? If the current here is I, the current will be divided in three parts, I by 3, I by 3 and I by 3. And then it will further get divided into two parts, I by 6 and I by 6. Okay. Here also I by 6, I by 6. Here also I by 6, I by 6. This I by 6 and I by 6 will become I by 3. I by 6 and I by 6 will become I by 3. I by 6 and I by 6 will become I by 3. Now if you apply KVL between A point and H point, so I am going like A to B to G to H. Okay. like this I am going. I'll show here AB GH. So if I find out VAH, in AB what is the drop? I by 3 R1. In BG what is the drop? I by 6 R2. In GH what is the drop? I by 3 R3. So what is the equivalent resistance? VAB upon I, R1 by 3 plus R2 by 6 plus R3 by 3. 1 plus 1 plus 3, 5 kilo ohm. That is the equivalent resistance. So now I can redraw this circuit. 10 sin t, this diode, and this 5 kilo ohm. Now we need to find the RMS value of current. In half wave rectifier, the current waveform will be like this. Okay. This is the peak current. So what you can write? I am writing on the left hand side. IRMS is maximum value by 2. This we derived in half wave rectifier. Otherwise you can integrate and again derive. Maximum current is V max upon R. 2 factor remains in the denominator. V maximum is 10 by 2 into resistance is 5. So it will come out to be 1 milliampere. So that is the RMS current that is coming out to be 1 milliampere. Moving on to the next problem, it says, in the circuit assume that diodes D1 and D2 are ideal. We need to find average value of VAB. Okay. So let us see how we will solve this. Suppose this is plus, this is minus. So what I will say, during positive cycle D1 will be forward bias and D2 will be reverse bias. If D1 becomes forward bias, then how does the circuit work? Like this. That means if you want to find out voltage VAB across 10 kilo ohm resistor, if you see, this is VS. This 10 kilo ohm and 20 kilo ohm are in series and they are connected across VS. Okay. So VS is the voltage appearing across series combination of 10 and 20. So how you will write VAB? By potential division, Vs into 10 by 10 plus 20, or you can say Vs by 3. Are you getting my point? This Vs is applied across series combination of 10 kilo ohm and 20 kilo ohm, and the entire Vs also appears across 10 kilo ohm. Okay. So it means basically the circuit is like this. The circuit is like this. So if this Vs is entirely across 10 and 20, if I want the voltage across 10, I will directly apply potential division. I will not have to care about this resistance. Similarly, when I talk about negative cycle, in negative cycle the polarity will be exchanged. Due to exchange of polarity, this D2 will become on. D2 will be on. If D2 is on, how will the circuit look like? Like this. This is Vs. Again, why I have not changed the polarity? Because during negative cycle I am mentioning that Vs is less than 0. If I am saying this magnitude is negative, I don't have to change the sign. But if I say the magnitude is positive, then polarity has to be reversed. Now if you see, these two resistances come in series. But in this case, this negative terminal is connected to positive and positive is connected to negative. So again I will apply potential division, but this time with a minus sign. Vs into 10 by 10 plus 10 minus Vs by 2, but Vs was negative, so this will be positive. So let us see the waveform. This is our Vs. During positive cycle, output voltage was Vs by 3. Vs by 3 means something like this. During negative cycle, minus Vs by 2. Vs is negative, so minus Vs by 2 will be positive, something like this. Then again Vs by 3, then again minus Vs by 2. So Vs has a maximum value of 6 pi. Vs by 3 will have maximum of 2 pi. Vs by 2 will have maximum of 3 pi. Now we need to find the average of this waveform. How to find average of any waveform? That is to find the area by duration. Okay. So this is pi, this is 2 pi, 3 pi. So if you want to find out average, the period of this waveform is 2 pi. So 1 by 2 pi. Then integration 0 to pi, it is Vs by 3. Vs by 3 means 2 pi sin omega t d omega t. What about pi to 2 pi? I just now wrote during negative cycle, VAB is minus Vs by 2. Vs is 6 pi sin omega t. So minus Vs by 2 is minus 3 pi sin omega t. Now many of you might be thinking that this is positive. Why I am taking negative? Because between pi and 2 pi sign is also negative. So minus minus will be plus. You don't have to take it positive because sign is also negative. So minus minus will become plus. Pi will get cancelled. Integration of sign is minus cos. Integration of minus sign is plus cos. So if you put the limits, it will come out to be how much value? Half 2 into 2 plus 3 into 2. That is 5 volt. Okay. So the average output voltage will come out to be 5 volt. Is it fine? Otherwise, I could have solved it directly also. See, the area of one loop of sine curve is 2 times the maximum value, that is 4 pi. The area of this loop is 6 pi. That is equal to total area is 10 pi divided by duration 2 pi, that is 5 volt. Always remember, when the sine curve is plotted against omega t, that is on the x-axis you see the angles pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, then area of one lobe of the sine curve is twice the maximum value. Next question. The figure shows a half wave rectifier. The diode D is ideal. We need to find the steady state current through the diode. Okay. We need to find the average steady state current through the diode. When we talk about average, average means DC. If we talk about DC, in DC, your inductor is short and capacitor is open. If you take capacitor as open, then the diode current will be same as the resistance current. So what I'll say, that in average or DC, the diode current is same as the resistance current. What is the resistance average current? V naught average by R. So the average diode current is V naught average by R. Now to find out V naught average in case of your capacitive filter, we know that V naught maximum is Vm, which in this case is 10. We know that the peak to peak ripple is Vm by 2 FRC, by FRC. Okay. In this case, it will now become 10 by F. F is how much? 50 Hertz. R 100. C is 0.004. That is 0.5 volt. So what is V naught average? V naught average is V naught maximum minus peak to peak ripple by 2. Because I told you average lies between maximum and minimum. So average will be maximum minus half of the ripple. So it will be 9.75 volt. So V naught average is 9.75, resistance is 100, 0.0975 ampere. Okay, or you can say 97.5 milliampere. So that is the average current that flows through the diode. Why I am saying average current is same as resistance current? Because in DC or average, the current through the capacitor is 0 because capacitor is open. Next question, we need to sketch V naught for the sinusoidal input. What you have to do is, you have to check for positive cycle of V in. This terminal will be positive, the lower terminal will be negative. Now, positive terminal is connected to anode of D1. That means D1 will be forward bias. If D1 becomes forward biased, then how does the circuit look like? It is similar to what we have attempted just now. These two resistances will be in series. These two resistances. So what will be the value of V naught? We will apply potential division R by 2R. That is V in by 2. When we talk about negative cycle of V in negative cycle the terminals will be exchanged. So cathode is connected to minus and anode is connected to plus. So D2 becomes forward bias. If D2 becomes forward bias, then D2 is shorted and D1 is open. I will again not change the polarity because when I am saying negative cycle of V in, I am assuming V in is less than 0. If magnitude is negative, you don't need to change the sign. Now these two resistances will be in series, but now negative terminal is connected to positive. So while applying potential division, I will use a minus sign. So it is minus V in by 2. So when the input is sinusoidal, suppose I draw a sinusoidal input like this. During positive cycle, the output is V in by 2. During negative cycle, the output is minus V in by 2. Minus minus will be plus. Like this. Okay. So this will be the output waveform V naught versus T. Okay. So that will be the output waveform for a sinusoidal input. Now in this lecture, I have told you about capacitive filter. In capacitive filter, we know V naught maximum is Vm. Peak to peak ripple is Vm by FRC. This I am talking about half wave rectifier. V naught minimum will be V naught maximum minus ripple. V naught average is V naught maximum minus V ripple by 2, which is approximately V naught maximum. Okay. And if you encounter a full wave rectifier, what you have to do? In full wave rectifier, the period of waveform, instead of 2 pi, the period is pi. If the period is pi, that means period is period of half wave rectifier by 2, or you can say frequency of full wave rectifier is 2 times frequency of half wave rectifier. So in the above formulae, the formulae for ripple, you will replace f by 2f. So for full wave rectifier, in place of f, you will use 2f, and that is all you have to remember for the case of capacitive filter. This filter is important from gate point of view. Thank you.
I hope all of you have enjoyed the lecture that we were providing, and all of you learned something very good. Now is the time to learn about the Unacademy subscription. So as I told the benefits of the Plus subscription at the very beginning, let's go through them very quickly. Live classes you get by the top educators, crash course, rank improvement batch, doubt clearing, weekly quiz, test series, previous year question, practice question, everything in one subscription called as Unacademy Plus. And iconic is one level higher. It provides you a personal coach who will mentor you on a daily basis, who will guide you on a daily basis, along with providing you study planner, test analysis, study material, and soon enough interview guidance. So if you are looking to join Unacademy, let's see what are the pricing. So my dear friends, before we see the pricing, just see the link. This link will help you crack GATE and ESE with the top rank, because we have created the first ever video book for GATE and ESE for my YouTube family, and you will get the notes as well as the lectures here. Just make sure that you write this link in the uppercase, and you will get to the first ever video book for GATE and ESE, and it is nothing but revolutionary. Now let's see the pricing of Plus subscription. So for 12 months the pricing is 3250, but if you apply the code Ankit ESE, it becomes 27225. For 18 months it will be 34650, and for 24 months 39600. Believe me my dear friend, this is the most affordable pricing, and the longer duration subscriptions are more cost effective as compared to shorter duration. Like here it will cost you 1650 per month. Okay, this will be 2000 per month approx. This will be around 2250 per month. Then if you go for Iconic for 12 months, it is 5250. With code Ankit ESE it becomes 45225, and 2-year subscription becomes 66600. So the choice is yours, but take a longer duration subscription for more cost effective solution, and to give GATE and ESE at least 2 times, so that if you once crack GATE, in the next attempt you can even get ESE. And other than that my friends, you can download the Unacademy learning app right now, because there we provide live classes for free, test series and live quizzes for free. And once you download it, make sure that you follow this profile. This is my profile, so that whenever I come live, you will get the notification. And this is the Telegram channel for our team. Here you will find all the lecture links, all the lecture files, and all the links for the special classes. Other than that my friend, my personal Telegram channel also you can join, t.me/GateAIR1. Here you can get in touch with me, and we can take this journey together. Okay. Other than that, we have other YouTube channels like Mechanical, Civil and Telugu, JEE channel, Computer Science, Gate Question and Electrical Junction, Pathshala and GS Terminal. Electrical Junction contains short videos of great concepts. Pathshala provides you animated content. JEE preparation can be done through these 2 channels, Unacademy SSC JEE and GS Terminal. And you can refer the other channels to the other friends in respective branches, so that they can also be benefited. At last, I would like to say, please share, like and subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel, and not only subscribe, press the bell icon so that you get notified whenever a new video comes. And share these videos among all your college group, among all your friends, so that we can create the first ever revolution of free education in field of GATE and ESE. Thank you to everybody for dedicating time to watching this video. Please move on to the next one as well and take the benefit of all the free content that we are providing. And in case you have completed the series, do make sure you watch the other subjects available on this channel. Thank you.